Hey guys, All in Crypto here and welcome back ladies and gentlemen for another YouTube video. In this video, we're going to be giving you a bit of an autopsy report on exactly what happened last night with Bitcoin. Now I'm sure some of you woke up this morning, or I certainly did in the UK, and noticed that Bitcoin had sold off by around about 8%, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about exactly what went on, guys, because this is important. We're going to theorize why Elon perhaps is trolling Bitcoin in the way that he is, and how we're going to do that is we're going to look at a number of shareholders that are big shareholders in Tesla, the likes of BlackRock. There's an article here that says BlackRock moves into Bitcoin as institutional crypto investments take off, and the likes of ARK Investment, who are one of the largest purchasers of Tesla shares recently. And Cathie Wood, the CEO of ARK Investments, actually came out and said Bitcoin's going to go to $500,000. So there's a bit of contradictory nonsense going on here, and ultimately I think that there is a bigger plan at play here. I do also know that Elon had a run-in with the SEC where he was essentially told that he couldn't tweet in regards to stocks and stuff like that, because essentially I think ages ago what he essentially did was he said that the funds were secured for the Tesla shares, or the funds were behind Tesla being at a certain price. This obviously encouraged people to plow into the market, and this was a big no-no in the eyes of the SEC. The SEC kind of pulled him up, roughed him about a bit and said, look, you can't tweet recklessly in regards to the markets. Now, we know the crypto space is heavily unregulated. It is in exchanges have regulation attached to them, but the overall crypto market, something like Bitcoin is perhaps hard to regulate. You need to kind of regulate the ports into it, if you will, and the ports out of it, rather than the actual asset itself. So is he trying to provoke, and I think this is probably the most likely reason of them all, is he trying to provoke the SEC to regulate Bitcoin? Is he perhaps doing this for the greater good of the cryptocurrency community? Now, that is a possibility. Let me just say right now, I am not impressed any way, shape or form of his involvement in the crypto space. It has been largely negative, and we have covered his involvement in the crypto space more times than I would have liked to, but he is a big factor. He was really one of the leading factors in this sell-off. Now, in yesterday's video, we said, look, we've broken out of this descending resistance right here. Watch this area here. The weekend is going to be a very telling time. And we have not only sold off in this manner quite horrifically, but we are now going into the weekend, which we know is essentially a very trying time for the crypto space. So let's fly through the charts quickly, and then let's get into a little bit of the theories about Elon and his involvement in the crypto space, and look at some of the big investors, look at some of his shareholders. He'll have interests. Ultimately, I think Elon works for the very people that have a vested interest in keeping you poor, and how they do that is by manipulation largely. And I think he is I think, yes, he could be, trying to signal to the SEC and provoke them to regulate the space. He could also just be an arm of these big insiders who, don't want you guys to make money. We're going to talk about it. So from a charting point of view, guys, yesterday's video, you have this descending resistance and you have this ascending support that's formed a bit of a triangle that we are in, and you did indeed break up to the upside. Not only did you break up it, you didn't just wick above it, you actually closed above it. This was then met with a complete engulfing candle, and you should have really known this was coming due to the kind of volume that came in here. When you break out, guys, you usually want to break out with some momentum. That's a real signal of where you're going. You've sold out of this channel, you've sold straight back below your EMA. So right now, guys, things do not look good. Now, the Crypto Sniper, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, guys, he has essentially spoken about a head and shoulders on the 2 hourly time frame. That's a complex head, is what he's saying. He said, look, you've got your right shoulder here, and you do not want to sell below these lines. That would be a kind of a confirming factor that you have indeed, this structure here is essentially invalidated, and we're getting it dangerously close to it, ladies and gentlemen. We have wicked below it. We need to see that candle body close. And ultimately, guys, what you want to watch out for is you want to watch out for this ascending support, and if you sell below that. So there could be some more pain to come for Bitcoin. Let me just say right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am not selling a single Bitcoin. I am not selling a single Cardano. I'm not selling a single Aave. You get the drift. I'm not going to list all the cryptos that I own. They're not getting sold. And the reason they're not getting sold is because I still understand where this space is going. I'm adamant of that. And the short-term time frames, we've spoken to you about Amazon and some of the stocks that were in the dot-com boom and just how volatile they were in the early days. The same thing applies to the crypto space as it is the new thing. Cryptocurrencies, internet stocks. The internet stocks is like cryptocurrencies to blockchain, if that makes sense. And the internet stocks are like akin to the internet. It's a similar sort of thing. So I hope that made sense. I'm still bullish. I'm still a macro bull on the crypto space, regardless of what happens on the short-term time frame. And this weekend is going to be a trying time, I do believe. It's just another testimony as well. We make Cardano videos every day, and it's somewhat not very encouraging to see that when Bitcoin decides that it wants to throw a bit of a temper tantrum, the rest of the market is just at its complete mercy, regardless of the fact that Cardano is literally trying to build the infrastructure for entire governments and countries to run on. And if they achieve what they've set out to, it's going to be huge. Bear that goal in mind. Bear the goal in mind for why are you in Bitcoin? Well, one of the main reasons I'm in Bitcoin is because I understand that the US dollar and other fiat systems are, for lack of a better word, and there's probably better ways I could describe it that are more accurate, a Ponzi scheme. That's how I genuinely view them, as a Ponzi scheme. I think it is unfair. I think people don't really get their heads around. I know we do because we're into the crypto space. It's probably one of the reasons we're in crypto, because the ideologies of Bitcoin being scarce, a fair system of value, and not being manipulated by one entity and centralized. The value for me in Bitcoin is the fact that I am taking a bet on the fact that Bitcoin is going to outperform not only the US dollar, the Great British Pound in my case because I'm from the UK, or the Euro. And the reason being is because it's not manipulated. It's decentralized, therefore can't be manipulated by one central entity on the policies that they decide to make. That is still why I'm in this space. This short-term sell-offs, this is a bit of a pep talk, I guess. These short-term sell-offs due to, irrational Elon Musk, who could be doing this for the greater good. He's not an idiot. I think people think he's an idiot. He's not. He's a very smart individual. And I think he knows, and it's why I've very much gone off the guy, because he'll know what the ramifications of him tweeting this. Essentially last night, let's talk about what he actually tweeted, as I've rambled on for ages now. At 2 a.m. UK time, he essentially tweeted her, I know I said it would be over between us if you quoted another Linkin Park song, but I found someone else, him. So in the end, it didn't even matter. And the quote that he just kind of hashtag Bitcoin broken heart. I mean, it's kind of funny in a way, but kind of not. And then after that, 2 hours after that, he put this up. I miss you. Why are you crying? Because I miss you too. Wow. It's funny, really, in many respects. He's completely trolling the entire crypto space. But the fact of the matter is, guys, he's only relevant right now, really, as a result of Bitcoin. How many of you can tell me how far SpaceX, or what the achievements of SpaceX have been over the past couple of months? Probably not as many of you that can tell me just how, what his tweets have been about Bitcoin. So it's kind of funny that he's trolling the crypto space, but in many respects he's getting trolled by Bitcoin himself, So take it for what it is, guys. Now let's talk about, is Elon perhaps, lots of speculation going on in regards to the fact that Elon could just be acting in the best interest of his shareholders, more specifically BlackRock and ARK Investment. Now here is a kind of sum up of some of the biggest shareholders that Elon or Tesla have, and BlackRock is the third biggest, and recently ARK Investment have bought 1.7 million shares of Tesla Incorporated. BlackRock, we know, have been moving into Bitcoin. BlackRock moves into Bitcoin as institutional crypto investment takes off. ARK Investment, Cathie Wood, the CEO, has also commented that she thinks Bitcoin is going to reach $500,000. So he is essentially right now, knowing that it is going to bring the market down, and if these players are already invested in Bitcoin is working in direct contrast with them. I don't think that's the case. I think perhaps they could have whispered in his ear. And we've spoken about why he may have turned on Bitcoin, whether it's because of the carbon credits, whether it's because of anything. We're getting down a real rabbit hole here of what ifs and buts or maybes. You know, let's focus on what we've got in front of us. We know that he has big shareholders that are also invested in Bitcoin. And could he potentially be lowering the price in order for them to enter the market at a discounted rate? It's funny because the last time he really started tweeting, we were up here, guys. This is where he really started tweeting, saying, look, we're not going to accept Bitcoin anymore for Teslas, even though no one was buying Teslas with Bitcoin anyway. I mean, in a matter of fact, you know, I don't want to go off on Tesla as a company and why they're, you know, massively inflated in terms of their price and how they make money largely on things like carbon credits and other projects like that. It is what it is, guys. So right now, where am I at? I think the weekend's going to be a trying time. We're watching for a number of levels. We're watching for the level the Crypto Sniper gave us. He's a brilliant channel, by the way, guys, and a genuinely good bloke who has, you know, he's more than up for helping, you know, your average day individual. We were average individual. So we want to watch this level here, guys. We don't want to wick sort of certainly close below it. It looks like you are picking up with a little bit of strength right now. You are still in your triangle. Yes, you have broken out of this channel, but you are still holding that ascending resistance support, and you are continuing, you know, let's draw a... you are continuing, you know, to make higher highs and also in some respect lower lows now. Or well, not yet. So still bullish on the crypto space, guys. Still bullish on Bitcoin long term, regardless of what happens over this weekend. And let me just make a little, I just want to quickly comment on people out there saying, look, this weekend's going to be a really bad one. They've already made that call and that was for last weekend and they were wrong on that, guys. If they say it enough, the chances are one time it is going to come true and then you're never going to stop hearing about it. Ignore the nonsense, guys. You know, because that's exactly what it is. There was a quick article that I brought up here. It's non-farm payroll. This is, you know, the market is probably going to take a direction. I think this is coming out recently. The market is probably going to take a direction. And, you know, we'll see what comes out of this weekend, guys. I'm going to keep you updated throughout the weekend. If you found this video useful, a like is always appreciated. So is a comment. It was just a real autopsy of exactly what's gone on. The market is selling off, and really this is all down to one individual. Whether it continues or not, I mean, I still think the bottom is in here for Bitcoin. I don't think you're going to go lower than these levels. If you did start to slip out of this ascending support, we would make another video and we would come up and we'd give you what we think is now going to happen, guys. But ultimately, we're still in a bull run, regardless of this sell-off. We spoke to you about why the sell-off was largely exaggerated by leverage longs getting liquidated. We spoke to you about a number of reasons why we've normalised this sell-off in many ways and how this, you know, you can still be in a bull run regardless of a 55% sell-off. We believe that. We understand the volatility that's attached with being in an emerging market, and that's why we believe that. I've waffled on for long enough, guys. I hope everybody's doing well despite this. Don't get drawn in and allow yourself to get trolled by this individual. It is very reckless. I'm not sticking up for him in regards to saying perhaps he's trying to provoke the SEC. I think this is, for a grown man to be having this much effect on so many individuals out there, in regards to their investment and their portfolio. He's fine. Bitcoin could go to zero. Not that I think it will, and he'll be just fine. Whereas there are people out there that have invested a lot into this. He knows that. So I can't help but think maybe he, you know, like he's trying to promote the SEC. Maybe he's trying to, you know, appease his shareholders. You just don't know, guys, do you? And ultimately, we're just going to go off what we've got right now, and that is that he is still recklessly tweeting about Bitcoin for some reason, maybe to stay relevant. I don't know. And maybe to kind of push a bit of the spotlight on Tesla. But it looks like you're kind of finding a little bit of support here, guys. This is, you can see there has been previous support at these levels. We will see exactly what happens, guys. All I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love and leave you. We will be bringing out another Cardano video. We will be bringing out a number of videos. We're going to talk about Algorand at some point, as we think there are big things coming for this project. Hope you all have a fantastic day going into the weekend. Remember, weekends are a bit of a shaky and trying time. It'll be a real telling sign of what direction this market is going to go in. you know, that we're going to kind of find that direction during the weekend, I believe. All I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to love and leave you on that note. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you in the next YouTube video.